Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to give you an overview of how to become a nurse and the different routes into nursing. And this is something that I'm asked a lot about from a wide variety of people. It might be a school leaver that's looking to start a career in nursing. It could be somebody with life experiences that wants to come to nursing later in their life. Lots of life experiences will be amazing for nursing, or somebody that's got an established career with a degree that wants to change careers. There should be something for everybody in the session today. And if you've got any questions, do put them in the YouTube questions. So I hope it helps. First of all, I'm going to go over how to find out about nursing and some key websites for you to have a look at. And that's really important for you to establish which field of nursing is most suitable to you and your passions and your needs. Different nursing fields, courses and academic levels. I know many people get confused with the different types of roles that align to the course and the academic level, and some of the information hopefully will help you decide which nursing course suits your needs currently. I'll go over the traditional full-time pre-registration nursing route versus a more slower paced apprenticeship route, and the difference between support worker roles, the assistant practitioner, nursing associate role and the registered nurse role, and then a little bit of how to choose a university course and the entry requirements. So a really great way to find out about nursing is to go on some national websites, and some key ones up here: the NHS Nursing Careers, Royal College of Nursing, Nursing and Midwifery Council. They've got different standards of proficiencies linked to the different roles, and local healthcare employer websites. And you'll see lots of nurses talking. There'll be video diaries, a day in the life, for example, of a mental health nurse or a learning disability nurse or a children's nurse, adult nurse. And it's really great to write some notes ready in preparation for your interviews as well. You can network with experienced nurses and recruitment leads at employer and university recruitment events. So you'll see contact names and emails for recruitment leads, and there's nothing stopping you contacting them in between recruitment events. So do look out for those on local healthcare and university websites too. And also social media, you'll have Facebook and Twitter accounts linked to all of those web links, and often you'll throw out a question and it will be answered by different experienced nurses. And there's nursing forums and different tweet chats as well to get a feel for nursing and our profession. So that's a photo of me from the 1980s. I'm a little bit greyer now, when I was starting out in my career, and you can see that we've got hats, so that's how old it was, how old I was. And in the 1980s, nurses was a vocational training in a school of nursing, and nowadays a registered nurse is a degree level profession. And one thing that I found really helpful though before I went into nursing was to arrange some work experience and to talk to experienced nurses. Nowadays you'll also have career advisors and recruitment leads in lots of different institutions, but a really good way to find out about nursing is to talk to people in the profession. One thing I did when I was 18, I did a pre-nursing course, and nowadays we would call that a level 2 or 3 health and social care course. And it's usually a year long. You can do 2 years, but potentially a year-long course where you get placements in different clinical settings, and you can get a feel for whether you want to commit to a nursing degree or not. And that's a great way to find out if nursing's for you. And then finally, I've put down healthcare assistant. Sometimes we call them nursing assistants or clinical support workers, or health and social care support worker. And having a role, a support worker role, as an actual job for a year or two will give you amazing insights. And I know lots of students that have done that first before they've decided to commit on whether they do the degree or not, and they found it really beneficial. Which nursing course? So when you look on the websites that I've previously given you on the slides, you'll see there's 4 main fields of nursing. There's adult nursing, I'm an adult nurse, there's mental health nursing, there's learning disability nursing and children's nursing. And we also have what's called dual registered nursing, and not all universities offer dual registered, but some do. For example, you can do mental health and adult nursing, or adult nursing and learning disability, for example. It's helpful to think about the roles between support worker and registered nurse when we're looking at different academic levels, and I think this is something that people become confused with because we've got lots of different titles that are used between support worker and registered nurse. So I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. So if you think about health and social care support worker, sometimes they're called nursing assistants, clinical support workers. That role usually starts at a band 2 on the Agenda for Change pay scale, and you can have a look nationally at those pay scales. Now there will be different private institutions may offer more, but generally the pay would start at a band 2. A senior worker, support worker, would be band 3. The academic level aligned to those roles would be a care certificate or a level 2 or 3 or 4 health and social care course, or a level 2, 3, 4 apprenticeship, because you can do apprenticeships as well linked to roles. When I talk about different levels, this is the qualification and credit framework, QCF, that's used, and there's different frameworks used. So for example, in Scotland, they may have different type names for the framework or different levels aligned. The assistant practitioner, pay for assistant practitioner would usually be band 4 on the Agenda for Change when you're starting as an assistant practitioner. To become an assistant practitioner, you would do a level 5 foundation degree or equivalent. There's different courses that are equivalent to become an assistant practitioner. This role is between a health and social care support worker role and a healthcare professional. So they don't necessarily have to be nursing assistant practitioners. We have nursing assistant practitioners, but they may be a physio assistant practitioner or an occupational therapy assistant practitioner. Assistant practitioners are always supervised by registered nurses, and in Scotland, for example, they would do a level 8 qualification, which is the Scottish Credit and Qualification Framework, which is equivalent to a level 5 foundation degree in England. And you'll notice that the assistant practitioner role is not registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. In comparison, you'll see a nursing associate, again, is a level 5 foundation degree to become a nursing associate. The role also starts at band 4. Usually you'll see lots of roles, nursing associate roles, advertised in England because the role is used in England, not in Scotland, for example. And they're registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council in England only. But you'll notice that the foundation degree academically is the same level, but it is a nursing career pathway, so it's not linked to other professions. A nursing associate is specifically for a nursing career. And the difference with the course is that there will be procedural competencies for administering medicine safely. So a registered nursing associate will be expected to administer medicines within the remit of their role and the competencies that they have signed off. And as I said, they're only registered as nursing associates in England with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. The difference between the standards between a registered nursing associate and a registered nurse, it's really helpful to look at the Nursing and Midwifery Council website, and you can read through the standards of proficiencies for both of the roles. And you'll notice that the nursing associate has 6 platforms and standards of proficiency. in comparison to a registered nurse who has 7 platforms and standards of proficiency. The key difference between the registered nursing associate and the registered nurse would be that the registered nurse leads and manages nursing care and coordinates care, in comparison to the nursing associate who monitors care and contributes to integrated care. With an assistant practitioner, I went on the website this morning because they can change and nursing can change quite rapidly, and the core standards are on the Skills for Health website for assistant practitioners, and the level of knowledge and skills is beyond that of a healthcare support worker. Again, as I've said previously, between a support worker and a registered professional. And the qualification credit is a foundation degree level, national higher diploma would be an equivalent, or intermediate level of higher education. And when you look at the standards, they would be a nursing assistant practitioner, would be planning straightforward tasks, and their work would be guided by standard operating procedures and protocols. They might be, for example, competent to store and retrieve information. They provide basic life support. They contribute to care planning and reviews and recording individuals' information, and preparing, monitoring, managing the environment for clinical and therapeutic activities. But what's really helpful is to go in and to have a look at those websites and go and have a look at the standards and compare, and you can really gain a good overview of the difference between the roles. And this is really helpful for when you go, I've just given you a basic understanding, but to give you when you go to interview, you'll be asked, what do you know when you're applying for a nursing associate foundation degree? What do you know about the nursing associate role? And if you've been on the website, you can say, well, I've looked at the 6 standards of proficiency to become a registered nursing associate, and go through as what I've just sort of said about the difference between a nursing associate and a registered nurse, or a support worker and nursing associate. When you're looking at the academic level, you'll see the difference for a registered nurse is it's a level 6 academic level, a bachelor's in science pre-registration degree. It's a pre-registration nursing degree. And there's also level 7 masters in pre-registration nursing, and that's for people that maybe already have a degree. They may want to pursue a clinical academic career pathway after, and it's more helpful to have your master's, for example. But you would come out with the same nursing and midwifery registration as a registered nurse, whichever degree level you do. And a registered nurse starting pay is usually, again on average, if you go on NHS jobs, you'll see newly registered nurses in the NHS would be band 5. And as I said, different employers would have different institutions. Private institutions may offer slightly different pay bands. So the summary of key difference you'll see is the difference, some of this from support worker to registered nurse is the NMC registration, which I've gone through, the level of academic credit, the standards of proficiency, and then looking long-term wise at your career, the agenda for change nursing bands, and what you come out with at the end of that, doing that course. How long does the nursing course take? I'm often asked. So you've got part-time options and you've got full-time options. Usually people doing a level 5 foundation degree to become an assistant practitioner do a 2-year apprenticeship, or they may self-fund, but the majority would do an apprenticeship. Level 5 foundation degree for nursing associate, again, is a 2-year apprenticeship. Some people self-fund, and there may be differences between individual universities. If you do a traditional level 6 Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, it's usually 3 years full-time, but you have part-time options over 4 to 5 years. Again, you can look at different universities and what they offer. A level 7 Pre-registration nursing degree, master's level is the same. It's 3 years full-time and part-time would be over 4 to 5 years usually. Dual registered nursing degree is usually 4 years full-time. Not all universities offer a dual registration nursing degree, and you also have a part-time flexibility usually as well. There's also a level 6 registered nursing degree apprenticeship, which is usually 4 years, and again it can be flexible to go over 5 or 6 years, and it's competitive. So most employers will offer a nursing associate or assistant practitioner apprenticeship. A level 6 registered nursing degree apprenticeship is usually offered when you've been working with that healthcare employer for a period of time, because they'll be investing in you over 4 years or more. So it's more competitive. What qualifications do you need? So for a traditional level 6 Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, you'd apply to UCAS and self-fund, and you need 2 to 3 A levels or equivalent qualifications at level 3. Some universities will ask for higher A level grades than other universities, and you may get some employers that will fund their employee to do a traditional level Bachelor of Science degree full-time, but it's rare. Usually you have to self-fund. Different UK universities have different entry criteria, so do check on the university websites. Level 7 degree in nursing, pre-registration nursing at master's level usually requires an honours degree or first class degree. And if eligible, you will receive financial support from the government, and it changes. So I won't say what it is currently now, and it will also be according to your current financial circumstances. So you need to check on government websites. When looking at the apprenticeship route, which would be for an assistant practitioner or a nursing associate usually, or a registered nursing degree at level 6, as I said, they're rare, you would be having paid work. Your apprenticeship is a paid role whilst you complete your degree, be it a level 5 foundation degree or a level 6 degree. And you apply for the apprenticeship through the employer. So you need to look on employer websites and for these roles, these apprenticeship roles, to be advertised. And the role includes paid study days. So usually, for an example, you might go for a nursing associate apprenticeship. You would work as a band 3 nursing support worker for 2 days. One day you would be in university, you'd have a paid study day, or it might be virtual, not face to face. And then you'd have 2 days paid where you would be doing your clinical placements, which might be in that area or maybe elsewhere. And those clinical placements are usually supernumerary. However, you would need to check with the employer as to what they are offering. And places may be competitive, so you usually have to go to an interview, would be with an employer and with the university. And as I said, do check what is being made available as part of the apprenticeship, because it might be slightly different across employers. For apprenticeships, you usually need a minimum of GCSE Maths and English grade C or equivalent, or so an equivalent would be Maths and English Functional Skills Level 2 to apply for a nursing associate apprenticeship. If you're applying for a level 6 apprenticeship, it may be different, and you might need an A level, for example, but for a nursing associate, this would be the norm. And again, you need to check the entry criteria. Some employers offer Maths and English Functional Skills, so they'll bring you in as a nursing assistant and will offer to pay for those functional skills to get you up to the level to become a nursing associate, and that's really helpful. So do look at what employers offer. Otherwise, go to college and try and get your Maths and English Functional Skills. And you know, if you fail, resit. I know people that have failed their Maths and English and then gone back and done it again and passed, so you'll get there eventually. If you really want to become a nursing associate, then do keep going. Good luck with it if you do have to do your functional skills. Which nursing course suits me? So the first thing you need to think about is, what qualifications do you have? Because if you haven't got the right qualifications, you're not going to be able to do a level 6 registered nurse degree, for example. And do you meet the entry criteria? So I hope the previous slides have really helped you go back and have a look at your qualifications, and it will really help you see whether you meet the entry criteria or not. Do you want part-time or full-time? What suits your work-life balance? Does a traditional pre-registration route suit you because you'll complete your level 6 registered nurse degree quicker than an apprenticeship? Or would an apprenticeship suit you because it's slower paced and you can afford to self-fund? You can't afford to self-fund, or you can afford to self-fund. So all of these sort of questions will help you decide which nursing course suits you most. Which university should you apply to? I think the previous slides will hopefully narrow down. Other questions: do you want a course near to where you live? Do you want to move for a new life experience? What's the entry criteria for this university and course? And do you meet the entry criteria? If you want to become a dual registered nurse, not all universities offer that, or if you want to do it at master's level. So all of these decisions and this research that you do before you go into applying will really help you narrow down. Once you do your background reading, you're going to need to decide which field of nursing and which course appeals to me. So doing all the background research, going on those websites, doing work experience or a health and social care course, and contacting experienced nurses will help you. How do you feel when you attend university open days or visit the university website? Do you feel attracted to the feel of the place and the support they offer you as a student? And you will have individual learning needs, and you will get a feel for a university or for an employer if you're looking at apprenticeships. A few application tips: look out for university open days and employer recruitment events, and often they'll be run twice a year if they've got 2 intakes a year, or annually, or they may be monthly. And with a lot of open days now are being run virtually, for example, but don't let that put you off if you've just recently missed an event, because you can still contact employer and nursing program leads. Go on the websites and find out what their contacts are, and do contact them. What you do find in nursing is there's usually, in universities, there's 2 intakes a year, would be September and January usually. If it's annual, it would be just September. And as I said, the events will be run usually in between those 2 important academic intake times of year. Download course information packs and employer information, and that's really helpful for your preparation when you're going for interviews. And you should know about the course you're applying for and which nursing role. Check the application procedures. Self-funded courses, you need to go on UCAS, and with apprenticeships you apply for a position with an employer who releases you to study. You still have to go through the university processes, but you might start with the employer and applying for that role first. And you complete your online application, and it's automated, so if you miss the deadline, you can't usually apply late. You might have to wait for the next intake, which is fine, you can still get in. But if you've got your heart set on starting at a certain time of year, do adhere to those online application procedures. If you are looking to apply for one of these courses, I've got some videos on personal statements, how to structure personal statements and to prepare for interview for pre-registration nursing and nursing associate courses. So do check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, it's free. And if you're going to keep with a career in nursing, there's lots of advice for all different levels of nurses. So I really hope you found these slides helpful. Do put some questions in the YouTube channel. Check out my website, or you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram. Let me know how you get on with your interviews, and good luck in the future. I wish you every success, whatever you do.